Hello, Guy, and welcome to Exposit The Word. Our question for today: when we read Scripture, what are some good ways for us to understand what we can and should apply to us today, and what bits were specific for the recipients of the Scripture back then?
Well, the principle has been articulated this way, that the Scripture was not written to you, but it was written for you.
Yeah.
And by that, we are not the original recipients of Scripture. We are not Israel in the wilderness. We are not the remnant in Babylon. We are not the church in Corinth. So we have to recognize that there is some distance between us and the original audience. And we have to take care when we make application. To take a point, I think all Christians would be in agreement on the animal sacrifices of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
We no longer perform those because, living in the fullness of time, Christ has come. The shadows have given way to the substance, to the reality. Christ has offered himself once for all as sacrifice for sin, and we put our trust in him. We don't need animal sacrifices. They don't perform answer the purpose for which they were originally intended. At the same time, we recognize, as we read the Scripture, that as God is speaking to Israel in the wilderness, or the remnant in Babylon, or the church in Corinth, that he's not just speaking to them, that this word is for his church in every age. That's why he has written it and preserved it and passed it down. And so we see the New Testament writers doing this all of the time when they go back to the Old Testament and they quote the Old Testament and apply the Old Testament to the church, and particularly to show us what it is that we're to believe about God, his promises, his commands, and the way in which God would have us to live. So we learn richly about God and about his ways with us and his purposes for us in Genesis as well as in Romans.
Yeah.
So while those books were not written to us, they were written for us.
Yeah.